Just over there, Highbury is being turned into luxury apartments. Welcome to the Emirates Stadium, where the Arsenal faithful luxuriate in their team's opulent football. Today's visitors know all about that. The Gunners have given Blackburn Rovers a hard time of late. Good afternoon. Arsenal and Blackburn endured different kinds of gruelling tests midweek. There was extra time needed to get past Bolton for the Londoners and a trip to Germany for Rovers in the UEFA Cup. They may be tired from their exploits, but I have two fresh young men off the bench. Lee Dixon lifted the FA Cup 3 times as a player with Arsenal, and Ian Dowie made the semi-finals with Crystal Palace. But as a resident of Bolton, he can wear a Lancastrian hat for us today, if that's all right, Ian.
All right.
How tired will they be? Are we making too much of this? Isn't this what players are supposed to do? Bounce back 2 days later?
Well, the thing is, you tend to be more tired when you've lost. I mean, Arsenal had a brilliant game during the week and they won. That was the main thing. So they're buoyant. It's the 5th round of the FA Cup. I'm sure Wenger will make some changes today and try and freshen the squad up a little bit. And again, Blackburn had a good result in the end. Getting that second away goal was key to them. So I don't think they'll be thinking of it. They might think of it if they go 2 or 3-0 down, Blackburn, or the opposite way around. But I think they'll be tuned in. It's the FA Cup.
There was a massive tempo in the game. I mean, I was at the game the other day, and there really was a high tempo game. Plenty of physical challenges. There will be a few bumps and bruises, but you know, he is the master of refreshing people and getting people back to that peak form. I think only late in the game, maybe the tiredness will tell. It's a fantastic occasion.
They are something of a bogey team for Blackburn. Obviously, Arsenal overcame their bogey team against Bolton, didn't they? And now Blackburn have got to overcome theirs.
Yeah, it was very interesting for me that in some ways Arsenal changed the way he plays, because he went with a very, very big side. He put Diaby, in the team, and he put Dura at right back. So he sort of matched size for size, and physically they really competed very, very well. And I think that in the end saw them out, and obviously their football was of top quality.
Okay, well, the last time they came here, Blackburn endured a heavy defeat.
Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. That is superb! Twisting, turning, men to his left. This is Fabregas. Oh, Van Persie. Oh, what a lovely goal. Lamine, it's 6. How about that provision and coolness? Another smart finish. Oh, that was absolutely stunning. 3-0. Henri, brilliant! That is what Arsenal are all about.
It must be tough for them to walk back into this stadium without feeling kind of doom and gloom and despair, really.
It'll be interesting to see the characters of the Arsenal, because if Ian Wright was in that tunnel when they're lining up to go, he'd remind every one of those Blackburn players what the score was last time they came here. So I'm sure there'll be a few of the Arsenal players just dropping the 6-2 scoreline in as they're lining up.
They'll be doing that, won't they, Ian?
I think so, but I think Mark Hughes will make sure his team compete, and I think the way the team will pick will be very competitive. I think it'll be a very snappy performance from Blackburn's south. They'll be in Arsenal's face as much as they can.
OK, well, Arsenal's midweek replay against Bolton Wanderers was one of the great FA Cup ties. Let's remind you how the drama unfolded.
Emmanuel Adebayor breaks the deadlock at the Reebok. Stelios has blocked it, and then hit the bar. Eamon goes down, it's a penalty. Oh dear, it is a wild penalty from the Brazilian Gilberto. Emmanuel Adebayor could take Arsenal through to the 5th round here. Oh, incredibly he hasn't. Extra bodies in the box, Campo in, Meite's finished it. Bolton a level. There's Nolan. Ljungberg's shot, Ljungberg's goal, Arsenal lead. Sam almost looks resigned to his fate, he never usually is. Penalty. Would you believe it? This will surely be it for Arsenal. It's Adebayor, it is now. Bolton 1, Arsenal 3, and Arsenal have gone through to the 5th round of the FA Cup.
So a dramatic evening in Bolton, and although he can claim to be a contender for miss of the season, in the end it was Emmanuel Adebayor who sealed Arsenal's place in the 5th round. The Gunners' double-goal hero has been chatting to Garth Crooks.
Emmanuel, after the game against Bolton, the Arsenal team's confidence must be sky high.
It was a very difficult game, because we make draw at home and we have to go there and go and fight again. And I think we have to do our best. We keep our quiet. We play. We enjoy playing our football. And the boss told us before the game, we don't have to play like how they want or like Bolton's player want us to play. We have to play like how we know to play. And I think that's the way we win our game. When we have a team, when we keep the ball on the floor, we keep passing, we keep moving. I think we are very dangerous for all the team in the world.
It's Adebayor, and Arsenal have gone through to the 5th round of the FA Cup.
Now, how much will fitness play a part in the game against Blackburn? Because both teams have had very important midweek fixtures.
I don't believe in that. That's excuse. We are a footballer. We are happy to be a footballer. We are happy to do our job. And the fans, we have to know that some people have traveled as well to come to Bolton to come and watch us. They are tired, shouting our name, singing for us. They are tired as well, but tomorrow for sure they will be there again singing our name. Whether you score or not, you have to show to the fans, to all people, that you are hungry and you want to play for your team. You want your team to win the game.
Now, you've already beaten Blackburn this season. It was a very open game. What do you remember of the game?
Nothing special. I remember that we scored 6 goals.
What can he do here? He's gone for goal. Flamini! It's 6.
Games in our cup and Premiership, they are not the same. They are never going to be the same. But I know we have our chance to win the game. We're playing at our home. We have our fans. We have our confidence. We have a lot of chance to win the game tomorrow.
Do you realise, or are you aware, that the final may be at the new Wembley this year? And if so, is that an added incentive?
Of course, when I come back, when Thierry Henry first told me that, yes, now our ambition is the Wembley, I say, okay. I always watch the games on TV at Wembley, and this year, maybe we have a chance to do it. We want to win something together this year, and I hope we are going to do it.
Interesting to hear Emmanuel Adebayor talking about the foreign players particularly and how Wembley means so much to them.
I think they all know about Wembley of old, and now they've got a chance to play in the new one. I think it's a huge carrot for players to play in that. I think if you get the chance to play in the first one, you take it with both hands because it looks magnificent, as does this place, by the way, today.
Yeah, 60,000 we're expecting here today. And let's have a look at the Arsenal lineup that they will see on show. And we talked about tiredness, but in fact, only 2 of the players who started, Ian, up at Bolton, Toure and Almunia, are actually in the lineup.
Yeah, I can understand that. It really was quite a physical game and quite a demanding game. And it's great to see Gallas back, as an outstanding defender. And Henry and Aladier, they've got bundles of pace up front. They really have. And
Adebayor rested, of course, Lee. And the manager didn't think he looked quite right. And does he do scientific tests to ascertain whether a player's too tired? How does he work that out?
His knowledge on players is just second to none. He knows when a player's tired before a player knows himself. He used to be brilliant at that. His training methods, he'd pick you before and then he'd leave you out the next week and you wouldn't know why, and he'd say because you're going to be tired this week. He sort of knows he's the best preparation for a player could possibly be to get into his peak fitness for a game. He's second to none.
You'd imagine everybody would have looked tired in training on Friday after a trip to Bolton and a hard game, extra time, journey back home.
I would think he does a lot of scientific research and it's backed up by a lot of knowledge, I'm sure. I think Lee was telling me once before that pre-season he didn't feel he was fit, but when he actually got to the games, he felt fantastic. So whatever it does, it works. They look a fit team.
When you look at that lineup, though, it's not exactly like he's got shabby reserves to play as well,
if you can make 9 changes like that and still put a team like that, Ali Adidair and Henry up front, the pace they've got, with Samba and Nelson playing centre-backs, that's going to be a huge test for them. Interesting to see how high Blackburn play. If they play high up the pitch and leave space behind, those two could run riot today.
Absolutely, and William Gallas is back, hasn't played since mid-November for Arsenal. You rate him very highly.
Arguably, I think he's amongst the 2 or 3 best defenders in the Premiership for me, and it's a massive boost and a good bit of business, I think, from Arsene Wenger. If Ashley was going to go, then you've got a fantastic, replacement for him, who's much more versatile than Ashley Cole. Here you see he's playing against West Ham. Bobby Zamora, look at his centre of gravity so low. His feet are quick. You can't run him. He's that quick and powerful as well in the challenge.
This is him at left back. He reads the game so well, Gabby. Look, sees the run. And he's a pessimist. He thinks these defenders are going to miss the ball. He did, so he's in there with a last-ditch tackle.
But he likes to join in. I think that's the other thing. I mean, this is good when he does play left back. Look, lovely little round the corner header, and he's not content with that. He drives on. And he's a right-footed left back.
Right foot.
He is all right foot, but he helps the play build up.
We see again here, great over here, and he's in that left wing position now. Now, not the best cross, bit of a swinger, but he's in there. He's got an energy levels that are really high, and for me, he's as Ian said, he's one of the most solid defenders that the club's got. And when you've got such a young back four like that, he's influential on the pitch and off the pitch.
It's interesting though a little bit about the fact that he was never happy playing at fullback, but he's come and played a lot here at fullback.
Left Chelsea,
no, but he's played here a
The
lot.
Wenger factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, David Bentley might be forgiven for being a tad sentimental this afternoon. He learnt his trade with the Gunners before being sent out on loan to Norwich and eventually signing last year for Blackburn Rovers. But there'll be no room for mixed emotions, as Damien Johnson found out.
Everyone's perception is I was released and I wasn't good enough, and that was really far from the truth. When you're young, you want to play, and I didn't want to hang about and be 23, 24 and having a handful of games. I wanted to get out there and put myself on the stage, and I didn't feel like that opportunity was going to come at Arsenal. I made the decision to leave the football club. When I was there was a lot of top players who were at the height of their game and undroppable really, and I took a look at my situation and thought if I wanted to hit the heights in my career that I'd have to go away. It's been a lot of hard work, knocking down walls, knocking down doors, that people to believe that you are actually a good player, and that's what I'm going to have to continue doing.
Are English players getting a fair crack there?
Yeah, I mean, you don't deserve to play if you're not good enough. I mean, you don't deserve to play. It's as simple as that. I mean, you've got to be given opportunities, but there's opportunities to go out on loan and play, and I think if you're good enough to play in the Premiership, you're going to make it.
The first player to score a hat-trick in this fixture.
When the draw was made, what was your reaction when you saw Arsenal?
It was a bit of shock, really. I mean, to draw Arsenal away, so it's a bit of a difficult tie, and it'll be a difficult game, but I mean, I'm looking to enjoy it.
2 defeats against them in the Premiership already. Is that going to count against you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, there'll be a bit in all the lads' heads. I mean, we just fell asleep in the last 5 minutes, and look what they've done to us.
What about your own form, David? Are you happy with the way things are going? You seem to be enjoying your football, playing with a smile.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just about going into every game, enjoying yourself, and yeah, just going out there and giving it some. I'm a young English player who's playing week in, week out in the Premiership, and I mean, once I made the goal of making it in the Premiership, I mean, the next step is the international stage, and at the minute I'm looking to make that step up. I mean, I played with the 21s, and I enjoy that, but I don't want to be a 21s player forever, and I want to make that step up, and if it comes soon, I'm going to take it with both hands.
What would it mean to you as an ex-Arsenal player to go to their backyard and beat them in the Cup?
That would be great. I mean, to beat Arsenal and to beat them at the Emirates, I mean, it's a difficult place to go, and it'd be a great feeling for me, yeah. I'd love to get one over on.
Well, the team news for Blackburn Rovers, only 4 changes compared to Arsenal's 9 from their midweek fixture. Of course, they were out in Germany against Bayer Leverkusen in the UEFA Cup. Nelson and Samba, you could say the unenviable task of stopping that Arsenal attack today. And Lee, they've got their problems, long-term injuries as well. So I guess they haven't got that depth to choose from, have they?
No, they haven't, and that back four's key to him today, as well as Bentley. We've seen his quality. And he's a big player for them now. I think the 2 centre-backs today and Bentley are going to be key to how they perform.
David Bentley said there, you know, there's this impression that he was let go and he was hungry, he wanted first-team football. That's why he left Arsenal. Many thought he was that great white hope that Arsene Wenger was going to unearth an English player here, and it wasn't to be.
Yeah,
what is it that he didn't have for
I don't know. I think Arsene's very important is the attitude he has. I think no doubt David is a fantastically talented player. I think maybe at times his attitude as an early player wasn't quite what Arsene required. And to be fair to David, he said he wanted to go and play, and he did it. He went to Norwich, and from there.
We've seen with his interview how confident he's about his own ability. When he was a bit younger, it did boil over a little bit to cockiness. So I think Arsene saw him and said maybe he needs to move on to learn his trade elsewhere.
Arsene didn't see that as a challenge then?
Well, I think you know, some players need to move. Harper and Sidwell at Reading have gone on and performed well in the Premiership, and this boy, he's got all the quality to make it to the top. He's saying he should be playing for England now, and with the ability he's got on the ball, you know, he has a little look up there, look, pulls it back, doesn't just whip it in anywhere, great crossing,
nature. It's what he does. You know, anyone could just bend the ball, and this is a fantastic. This is how aware he is. Look at his awareness, fantastic awareness, knowing where Jeffs is. Lovely over and as composed finish.
Scores goals as well. I mean, technique. Always had the technique. Always had a good attitude about his quality on the ball. But he's now got the maturity
and awareness. Look, again, little glance, so he knows he's got time, and then it's just a study and concentration that keeps his eye on the ball. It's a lovely technique, little cut across it, and you know, to get a hat-trick against United will be a special thing for him.
To score today would be a special thing for him, wouldn't it?
He'd love that.
And we mentioned there Nelson and Samba in the centre of defence for Blackburn. Ryan Nelson, we saw him come back after a long-term injury against Luton, and he's going to have his work cut out today. He wasn't part of the team that lost 6-2 here,
No.
but
not too often. If Ryan Nelson's in the team, you get beat 6. I mean, you know, come for New Zealand Knights, done fantastic in his first season. He really become a feature of the game. You know, he really is a solid defender, decent on the ball, got a nice can spray a pass, but an out-and-out defender for me.
we were so positive for Blackburn. You know, their 4-0 result, obviously, at Kenilworth Road. It's a different kettle of fish coming here. Do you feel as confident for them as we were at the end of that match?
Are you asking me that?
I do feel. I think Mark's picked a side that's difficult. He's gone to almost 2 sets of fullbacks in wide areas, so he's going to make sure they're difficult to beat. And I think this will be a very competitive display.
I think with partnerships at centre-back, I think you need to learn to play together, and these two haven't played together a lot. And although Ali Adier and Henri haven't played together, they've got one thing in common, that's burning pace. And if they can get at the 2 centre-halves, I think it could be another 6-2.
Lee, that's not exactly what I would call an unbiased approach to this to the scoreline.
I think Arsenal are going to win.
Ian?
I think it's key they fill holes, but I've got to say it's a massive task for Blackburn today.
You fancying Arsenal?
Slightly.
Mr. Lancastrian, thank you very much for that. We're just about ready for the 5th round of the FA Cup, sponsored by Eon to kick off. So let's join our commentary team of Mark Bright and Jonathan Pearce.
Thanks very much, Gabby. Good afternoon, everybody. Those Blackburn players know that the statistics make grim reading for them coming into this 5th round tie. As we've been hearing, Arsenal have a very good record against them, 5 home wins in a row. Arsene Wenger's side also unbeaten at home in the FA Cup for 10 years. They have a tremendous record in this competition, bidding here for 6th quarter-final place in 7 years. They haven't lost any of their last 10 5th round ties. As they come out, well, they'll know the Emirates Stadium may not yet have the cup tradition of Highbury, but awash with admiration of Wednesday night's drama at Bolton. It's crackling with anticipation. The home fans hopeful for more of the same. The travelling 1,000 Blackburn supporters optimistic that the Reebok extra time may have drained too much out of the Arsenal side. But Arsene Wenger can make 9 changes. Of the outfield players, only Toure stays in. Almunia keeps his customary place in goal for a cup tie. Gallas returns at left back, where he played his first 6 games for the club. Henri back as captain with Gilberto rested. It's the first time he started with Ali Adier up front since January 2004. Toure, Sondros and Ljungberg played in the 3-0 semi-final win over Blackburn in 2005 when Arsenal went on to win the trophy. Friedel, Mokoena and Nelson survive in the Blackburn side from that day. The team showing 4 changes from Wednesday's UEFA defeat at Leverkusen for this, their 8th away game in their last 10 matches. The giant Congo centre-back Samba comes in his 3rd start. Kijinishvili returns at right back. He's often played there for his country. Emerton pushes into midfield with Bentley shuffling across into a more central position. 2 guy rested. New boy Burner makes his FA Cup debut. Nonda starts up front. Among the subs, Adebayor for Arsenal, his 2 goals against Bolton took Arsenal to the stage. And for the visitors, Matt Derbyshire, 2-goal hero at Luton, not quite fully fit. William Gallas hasn't appeared since mid-November against Newcastle. He injured his thigh in training shortly after. Blackburn certainly won't want to see Thierry Henry back again. He scored 6 goals over the years against them, including the beauty at Ewood Park last month. Theo Walcott there with him. We've already heard about David Bentley, who scored his first ever senior goal in this competition for Arsenal against Middlesbrough 4 years ago. He made just 8 other appearances for the North London club. And also watch out at set pieces for the giant Samba. He's 6'5". Arsenal are not at their strongest in the air, and they're without Gilberto, who plays a key role in the air for them at times. Nelson, though, Mark, makes such a difference for Blackburn Rovers.
22.
Yeah, he was really strong, wasn't he? We did the game against Luton. Very strong, organised, tough. But, you know, they got the work cut out today. There's no doubt about that. And it's virtually two separate teams Arsene Wenger can afford to play in a few different days. And it's arguable which one's the stronger team. You know, there's lots of balance. And you've seen Alier and Theo Walcott come in today, very young. You saw Henry just a moment ago talking to Theo Walcott, probably just saying, go and express yourself, you're a good player, you deserve to be in the team. And, you know, he did it the other day, and Walcott had a lot to prove, really. Started off where Henry started off, really, playing wide. Eventually, hopefully, will move down the centre when he gets more experience.
Well, they won 4-1 against Middlesbrough the last time Ali Alier and Henry played alongside each other up front. It was 3 years ago, as I was saying. That Arsenal victory against Blackburn here in December flattered the home side, to be honest. They scored late goals, and at one stage in the second half, Blackburn might have come back into it. Off and underway then at the Emirates Stadium. Arsene Wenger, who has such a proud record in this competition, he's lifted the trophy 4 times with Arsenal, but not since Leeds in the 4th round of 1997 at Highbury as an away team beaten him in this competition. And this is Sonderos looking for Fabregas. Hoyt. And now Toure, who scored here in the last round against Bolton, a 1-1 draw. Fabregas and Walcott starting on the right, Ljungberg on the left, though they may switch.
I think they've got the ability to switch, haven't they? You know, set pieces or any time in the game where they just feel that they're not getting any joy against the fullbacks, they can both switch over. You get the advantage of cutting in onto your favoured foot as well.
Henry looking for Walcott, and away by Samba. Here's Toure. No one has started more games for Arsenal this season than him. Emerton, who played on the right side of midfield in the last round at Luton. They've scored 4 goals away from home in their previous 2 ties in this season's competition. There's Mokwena, the hard man in midfield. Warnock into Nonda. And a little bit hesitant in making the run outside him. Big day for him, only his 2nd start in English football, Bernard.
Yeah, he came from Basel, didn't he, in the transfer window, and you know, obviously knows all about the FA Cup, and all the foreign boys do, and enjoy playing it when they come here. And up against Hoyt, he's got plenty of pace, physically strong, 6'1", 2", formidable defender.
Emerton away from Ljungberg. Sonderos. And now Flamini, who was a slight doubt before kick-off. Flamini was carrying something of an ankle injury. Emerton. And Mokwena. Finding Warnock. Into Nonda. And Warnock's made a forward run. You can see there, he's the furthest forward Blackburn player momentarily, and he does give them real options on the left-hand side. He's made a difference to Blackburn since joining from Liverpool last month. This is Bernard, only 22 years of age. He signed initially on an 18-month deal, further year option. Swiss international, though he wasn't involved in the World Cup in the summer. Flamini looks for Henry. He was onside, but the ball was too long. Friedel played in that semi-final defeat against Arsenal a couple of years ago. One of 6 clashes in this competition between the two sides. Arsenal have 4 wins. Walcott will take on Warnock. He defended well against him. Nothing wrong with that.
That's good from Walcott, and you test the defender out early. Just push it, give a little chase. I think Warnock read it quite well, actually. Stepped in.
Mark, what about David Dunn playing off Nonda? I mean, he's not fully fit. He hasn't played much football over the last 2 years.
No, I spoke with him yesterday, and, you know, he just said he was really breathing heavy in midweek, and he found it hard to keep up with the pace. And 2 games in a short space of time, that's where you can pick up injuries. But, you know, I think he'd rather be in the team than out. He's played in that position before. He likes to play more in the central than in the wide areas. He's got good technique. He's nice and neat. And I'm sure he's just relishing being back in first-team football. especially at this level.
That's a free kick for Arsenal. Hoyt. And Toure finds Sonderos. Arsenal have won 12 of the 15 home FA Cup ties they played over the years from the 5th round onwards. Bentley went in and won it. This is Nonda. Emerton making the run to the top of your picture there. Bentley again. One or two Blackburn fans before the game were saying they think he loses his effectiveness in a more central position. What do you think, Mark?
Well, he's been effective playing in the wide position, hasn't he? Good delivery, you know, as we know, he's a good technician. We saw him against Luton, how well he played in that central role. You know, good awareness, very good technically, 2 really good feet. And, you know, he can adapt and he can play, and that's what it's all about, a bit of versatility. But I suppose, you know, when he's talking about getting into the England squad, is he talking about in that wide right position?
Fabregas, cut out by Sama. And this is Ljungberg. Gallas. Ljungberg has it again. And who's won the FA Cup 3 times. From Flamini, it arrives at the feet of Toure. Walcott, first touch was poor. Burney's tackle again was a little bit hesitant. He got back well. Toure, Fabregas. This is Hoyt, looking for the run of Henry. Oh, and he got him beyond Mokwena, who was tracking him, but couldn't finish.
What a pass. Justin Hoyt there, just lifting it over the top. You can see Henry eye on the ball all the time, lets it drop. I think if he goes with his laces there, across the goal, he maybe just thinks it's a little tap-in. But it's a very good opportunity early on, especially for someone with his high standard of finishing. I expected him to score from that position.
Mark Hughes won the Cup 4 times to play, hasn't managed the club to an away win over Arsenal yet, but he did score 11 times against them in 35 meetings as a player, and once scored in both legs of the League Cup semi-final for Chelsea to dump Arsenal out. This is Sonderos. And now Hoyt. Having a good season. On loan last season, you remember, to Sunderland to learn his trade.
Yeah, they benefit, all the young lads do, and you know, I think he's started 12 of the last 14 games. He's sort of establishing himself in that right-back position.
It's his favourite position. He's played left-back and indeed in the centre, where Sonderos now has it. Toure. Hoyt again. Walcott.
Yeah. I think he thought Fabregas was going for the 1-2.
It's a free kick to Arsenal. Freddie Ljungberg won it.
You just see Ljungberg now, he's supposed to be playing in the wide left position. He's right across there, level with Walcott. That's the thing about Arsenal, you know, just how they adapt, how they their movement. The wide players go infield, leaves the space for the full-backs to come forward. And that's the key, really, when you're playing the standard they play at, getting the full-backs forward.
Fabregas will take it. Gallas is around the far post. It's a goal kick, but he will get forward dangerously at set pieces. William Gallas has a couple of goals for the Arsenal ready.
Lovely deep ball. You can see he's coming around the back. The referee gives the right decision, but I just think a little bit more height on that. The pace he's coming in at, he climbs over the top of the defender. It's a good chance, and I think many people are surprised he's playing today. You know, I don't know how long he's been back fit, but you know, I think with Wenger, there's a sort of like strict sort of regime of getting back, training, and then being put back into the team. I think we expect to see him on the bench.
And such painful memories, Mark, of Arsenal in the FA Cup, having been on the beaten side against them 5 years ago in the final.
We've all got painful memories of the FA Cup.
Yeah, who played very well here on his last start at the Emirates. It was against Tottenham, you remember, in the League Cup semi-final, second leg. And he's making that run now, blocked by Nelson. Warnock looks down the line for Dunn, who was in an offside position. And racked by injuries over the year. In fact, he's carrying a little bit of a dead leg now. He had a spine operation in 2005. Bones were fused together.
It's unbelievable at times with certain players just continue to pick up knocks and injuries and can't seem to get their career on track. I mean, Chris Kirkland now just looks like he's injured as he broke a finger or something, and just when he's got a good run going, and you just got to shrug it off. You need to train and play regular.
Wait. Toure has it. Here's Fabregas. Hoyt. Blackburn keen to sit behind the ball in the early stages, not surprisingly. Flamini. Gallas. Arsenal ringing the changes today. They go to PSV Eindhoven in the week in the Champions League, and then of course next Sunday plays Chelsea in the League Cup final. Samba. Burner, 10 minutes gone. Gallas to Ljungberg. Scored a good goal at the Reebok. And his future has been assured by Arsene Wenger, despite speculation. Too sure if he will be here next season. It's a goal kick out of Blackburn.
He scored some really important goals, Ljungberg, hasn't he, over the years for Arsenal, and, you know, being out injured for a long time.
Talking about David Dunn, described today as one of the most creative players in the country by his manager? No, by that man there, Arsene Wenger, paying rich tribute to the Blackburn Rovers player.
Yeah, I think that's encouraging as well, you know, for David Dunn to hear.
That keeps it in. Warnock with it. He must be offside.
Standing offside. Standing offside. You can just see, you know, Blackburn really, you know, rarely ventured into Arsenal's half area as he's standing on an offside position before he starts to make a run.
Needed a taxi to get up from there.
You can see the game's compact in the middle. Blackburn playing quite high. It's all blocked off.
Ooh, that nearly comes through to Ali, and he's chasing off after it. And Nelson got the vital touch, and it's a corner to Arsenal.
Yeah, first corner of the game, vital touch really. We know Ali Adier, Walcott, Henry possess great pace to get him in behind the Blackburn defence, but as you said, Nelson, vital touch.
Taken short to Henry. Walcott. Both defenders, Gallas and Toure, had stayed forward. Friedel looks for Emerton and gives Arsenal a throw. Has it. And now Walcott. To a pass. Bentley. Flips beyond Fabregas. Has that little look up. That's adventurous, but you can forgive him for that. Back at Arsenal. Way over from David Bentley. Looking for his 7th goal of the season. Under us. Through to Friedel, who's one of only 2 survivors from Blackburn's last win at Arsenal. It was in October 2002. Dunn's the other one. And Hoyt. Yeah, lost possession. Mokwena has it. I think he'll be all right, Ali Adier. Well, he has lost roughly a season and a half to injuries during his Arsenal career. Dunn has it again. Now, Nonda made a run, he sort of bent that run, but I think he was caught offside again, Mark.
I think he made a good run. I just thought the delivery was a little bit slow. Now he knows he's going to run offside. He tries to check a little bit. I mean, the timing of that pass is so vital, especially for the strikers who want to get in behind. Once you have to check your run, then the defender's always favourite.
Arsenal unbeaten on this ground in 19 matches, unbeaten at home in 29 games since West Ham's victory at Highbury last season. Walcott couldn't get beyond Nelson. Nonda. Oh. Foul by Toure.
Yeah. And this time, good touch from Nonda. Gets there first, just taking it around the outside. Really thought that should be a yellow card.
Years ago, he looked a world beater. Nonda, he was top scorer in French football with 26 goals when he was with Monaco, but then he picked up injuries, went to Roma, didn't work out for him there. Away by Sonderas. McLean up forward. Fabregas puts Aliadier away. Henry making the run to the edge of the penalty area and seen. Good combination. Still Henry. And still going, 3 men in the middle. Couldn't find a red shirt.
Smiles, persistence from the captain. Good feet, gets a lucky break. Think just in between two defenders, just here. Rattles off the shins again. But now he's looking up for his teammates. Doesn't really wrap his foot around it.
Here comes that corner, and once again it was Nelson who clears it away. It was Nelson who cleared the original danger from Henry. Flamini was one of the scorers for Arsenal in December's win against Blackburn. Hoyt. Toure gives it back to him. Fabregas. Aliadier back to Flamini, and here's Freddie Ljungberg.
And the game hasn't got no flow to it, has it? I mean, Blackburn just sitting back behind the ball. Midfield is just sitting in front of the defenders.
That's a look for Henry, and Friedel came a long, long way, and Flamini's here with the rebound. Finds Henry. Friedel's got back in his goal. Walcott, and that's a corner.
He's trying to do the right thing, Theo Walcott. The ball comes to him. He's just trying to shape it across the front. That's a good punch from Friedel. Not really height and distance on it.
Fabregas with the out-swinging corner. Sander met it. Nelson got the second header away. This is Walcott. Fabregas. 4 Arsenal players in the penalty area. One of them is Toure. Stubbed away by Berner. First period of sustained Arsenal pressure, this. Such pace and potential.
And I just noticed at the start of the game he's been giving the ball away a lot, you know, and if you don't force it, you should just linking it square or back.
Toure. Arsenal think it's their throw, but it's gone the other way.
Yeah, I think it come off Fabregas.
Blackburn used to have a very good record going to Arsenal. Remember them winning 3-1 just before Christmas back in 97-98. Arsenal had a crisis meeting after that. I don't think lost another game. Here's Hoyt. Away by Warnock. Again, Blackburn sitting very, very deep.
Yeah, they're making it really difficult. They're getting men behind the ball.
Henry. To throw to us. Do you sit that deep, Mark, because you're frightened of pace?
Well, you have to make a decision when you know, in your preparation for the game. If you play high, look at the players with pace. Walcott and Henry, Aliadier. If you sit too deep, then people like Henry will come short, get the ball turned, and they'll be shooting. So I think they've just done just the in-between, haven't they? I think that, you know, you look at the midfield, how hard they're working, sitting in front. No balls into Henry's feet, and Aliadier's in the centre of the pitch. They've got to work it wide, and this is the position now.
Here's Ljungberg. One against Kizanishvili. He defended well. He's equally at home at right back or centre back, the Georgian defender. That's played hard, and Atkinson's allowing it to go on. Sloppy from Quainer.
In many ways, I think Arsene Wenger wants Blackburn to come out and come onto them and go for that break and throw players forward, because we know Arsenal, one of the best counter-attacking teams in Europe, I would say.
Point has it. Into Aliadier. They're challenged by Nelson. And resolute in cup competitions this season, Blackburn. They've won 7 of their 10 ties. And away from home, they've been scoring goals freely. 17 in their last 6 away from Ewood Park. They are, though, without Pedersen and McCarthy today. 2 guys arrested, no Robbie Savage, of course. Oya missing from the back.
Big loss, especially long term, and Reed's out as well, isn't it? Cruciates.
Lindbergh. Free kick given for the challenge on Henry.
If he can't get the ball to fit in the centre of the park, that's what he does. He likes to drift out to the left-hand side. Lundberg will probably come in field a little bit, allow him to get the ball, and then he'll cut in and run across the 18-yard box, try the shoot, or slip somebody in.
Captain takes the free kick, flicked on by Walcott. Then there was the deflection through to Friedel.
Yeah, I think it was a Warner. Good movement here, good delivery from Henry, movement from there, Walcott. Right, it's Nonda.
Fabregas saw it coming out of the sun. Oh, misplaced pass from Bentley. Misunderstanding with Kishinishvili.
Yeah, I think the fullback's got to walk onto that pass. Emerson's stretching the pitch, he's running forward. The fullback just moves onto that pass and walks forward into the centre of the field.
What a season he's having, says Fabregas. Now by Dunn. This is Aliadier. Gallas, Flamini. He's covering a lot of ground early on. Should have a good engine, he's only 22. Warnock got in well. Walcott, have a little trip.
He's unlucky really, because Fabregas makes a run in behind him and he brings the defender over. If he doesn't do that, I think Walcott's in.
Warnock got the block. Nelson finds David Dunn. Honda. He's offside. Became active as soon as he touched the ball. Came from an offside position.
Yeah, correct. He's looking to get in behind. When they pick up possession, David Dunn went to receive that ball and turn. He looked to go in behind straight away, because you can see Arsenal playing really high. I just think it needs the midfield players to just know that he wants to do that.
Marquis' team has lost 4 of its last 23 away games against northern teams, 20 of its last 30 away games against southern and Midlands teams. They haven't travelled long distance as well over the past couple of years.
Usually the other way around, isn't it?
That's a good layoff from the hard-working Aliadier, Flamini wide.
Look right down the middle of the pitch there. Thierry Henry's looking at him. He's got his hands on his hips. I think Flamini acknowledges him there. He wants that ball into feet. Good play. Now it comes to him. See Henry just in the middle of the picture there. He wants that ball, maybe a 1-2, or he can turn.
Good claim by Toure. This is Bentley. Has a little bit of time. Takes it back from Emerton. Nonda. Dallas waiting for Almunia to come out. Arsenal must be hoping that Almunia doesn't get red carded today, because if he does, they don't have a recognised first choice keeper for next week's Carling Cup final. Lehmann is suspended for it. Mark Poom, I suppose, would come in. He's on the bench today. Fabregas into Flamini. A booking for him today would take him out of the Carling Cup final too. Here's Touré. Boots had to check. Into the feet of Falliadier. Fabregas. Oh, he slipped. Dunn got in. Sees the run of Nonda. Sonderos stepped out, a little bit too late to catch him offside, but the ball was too long.
Do you know what? That was just about the pass appreciation from David Dunn. Little turn of pace from him. Nonda goes in behind. That's just about the weight of pass. That was a really good opportunity for Dunn to put him in.
Arsenal, 6 places and 15 points above Blackburn in the Premiership table. Looking for Ljungberg. This competition, Arsene Wenger.
I suppose when you win it enough times, it is special.
They won 31 of the last 37 ties. That's Fabregas looking for Aliadier, away by Samba. Ljungberg, Janishvili closing. Wasn't the best of first touches by Freddie Ljungberg. The ball went away from him. Again, he's had a stop-start season. This is only his 16th game. He's had ankle problems. Henri. Gallas, back to his international teammate. Oh, Dunn was in there, a little bit of pushing and shoving. This is Henri. And that bounced off Mokoena, who then buffets Henri to stop him getting through to the goalkeeper, but stood his ground, Mokoena. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, calls for handball, I think. See, Henri just flicks the ball backwards here. No, absolutely not.
Bentley. Janishvili. Nonda coming in short and Dunn's offside. Quite tight from up here, Mark.
No, I think he was offside. It's just the wrong side when the ball's played. It's fractions you're talking about, really, but he runs in behind the defender. If he runs across the defender, there'll be a better chance. Yeah, the crowd really trying to whip Arsenal off. Pick up the tempo, you know, the one thing about Arsenal is we've seen them playing in recent weeks, the tempo they play at the moment, you'd say Blackburn are just causing them a few problems defensively.
Touré. Henri. Janishvili is there. And now Walcott. Promising for Arsenal. Aliadier making the break. Tracked by Nelson. He's held on to it well. Against the stronger man. Fabregas. Wait. With an arm. Atkinson says it just hit Nelson. Couldn't get out of the way. And Everton has it. And Blackburn have possibilities. Nonda has got him behind Gallas. Lack support. Arsenal have 3 men back in the middle. Dunn is there now. This is Everton. It's a poor clearance away by Sonderos. They were sort of hesitant as they came forward there. They don't want to go gung-ho.
Well, they had an opportunity there. I felt that ball dropped. Almunia was out of position. I thought Nonda, a quick glance up, a looping volley. I think he should take the opportunity. He doesn't take it. And I can't understand why he didn't have a go.
Certainly playing within themselves, very conservative.
Well, like you said, you mean, listen, the players watch the TV. You know, you go gun-ho against Arsenal, you know you'll be exposed. So one midfield player goes, one sits, only one wide man goes forward, the other one just holds, and you try and join the striker.
Well, that's between Ljungberg and Janishvili.
Trying to explain to the defender, this is the ball, that was my leg.
Wasn't used in Germany in the week, he was on the bench. And then he goes in with Ljungberg. Ljungberg, who fouls him this time.
He's telling Ljungberg the same thing.
Hold the longest unbeaten FA Cup record, Blackburn Rovers. 23 games from 1882 to 1886. Proud Cup tradition. Won this competition 6 times.
So that's just a straight ball out of play. Don't know why it doesn't go into Bentley. Get it back, maybe into Emerton. Try and work something.
Point. Fabregas. Flamini looking for Henry, important header for Samba. Kishinishvili. Bear the burden, Walcott, being the man who went to the World Cup at a ridiculously young age and wasn't used.
And it's not his fault.
Aliadier. Burnett to Dunn. Was England under 21 captain in his day, Dunn. There's Ljungberg, looking for Henry. Again, Big Samba clamps it out. Drops to Emerton. Junishvili is sort of plodding outside him. He's not a lightning-quick thrusting fullback, I think. Not these days. That's Henry, and he's looking at Ljungberg, who's got away from Kijinishvili. Nelson's gone across. The Georgian defender gets it away.
It's not better. Good movement from the wide men. See Henry at top of the screen here, just making running behind. That's a little delayed cross there, just hoping the defender slides. He takes himself completely out of the game, but he did well.
21 minutes gone. Fabregas with it. That's high. Freedom tested by Sunros. Handled well.
Easy takings for him.
It's one of the most consistent around, I think. He hasn't missed a league game for a couple of years now. Burnett. Done. Flamini closed, and the deflection carries to Ljungberg. Gallas. Emerton's done well.
Yes.
Always looked hungry there, didn't he, Emerton, to win it. Now Bentley looks for the Australian again, cut out by Gallas. Bentley's opportunities when he was at Arsenal, limited by the presence of Pires. Bergkamp was here.
Yes. You know, just a victim of the timing, really. Couldn't get a sniff, not like they do now. And Wenger's playing all the young kids in the cup games. And it's frustrating, I think we heard before the game, they just wanted to play.
There's Walcott. Arsene Wenger is building the same sort of side, like for like, the team that won the 2002 double. And you think Adebayor for Kanu, Rosicki for Pires. Ljungberg was here then and scored a lot of goals. And I think that's probably where they need more goals from these days. I mean, Henry's always going to get your 20 mark, but Adebayor will score. Van Persie's scoring, injured at the moment, but Kleb needs to get more, and Freddie Ljungberg as well again.
Well, Freddie's got a really good goal-scoring record, hasn't he? And, you know, in double figures, we talk about, you know, double figures. Was it Robert Pires? I think he was the second leading goal scorer every year he was here. You know, always got, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18 goals. And it is really important because, like you say, you will rely on Henry. But from the midfield in the wide areas, for me, Kleb, his fantastic footwork, you know, and his technique, he needs to score more goals.
Fabregas hasn't scored since the start of the season. Now this is Walcott. Dunn was pulling back at him, and the referee, Martin Atkinson, has allowed it to go on. Good referee. He's done nothing wrong so far, the referee. Ljungberg. Gallas. Arsenal settle for the throw.
Yeah, defending really well, Blackburn. I know it's not making much of a spectacle for us, but you know they're here to do a job, and that's what they're doing at the moment.
Henry trying to thread the eye of Beneda. Ooh, and Aliadier came through to him, but he was facing the wrong way. Couldn't turn. Burner to Dunn.
David Dunn there, if he looks at Nonda across the far side, he's in. William Dallas is right up the pitch.
Well, he had enough teammates pointing the way for him.
Yeah.
Fabregas again breaking into that area between midfield and the forwards. With that familiar and deceptive shuffling gait. Hoyt back to him. It was pushed, play on, says the referee, and then Fabregas was taken down by Dunn, and the referee playing the advantage again, says Fabregas. He's an elusive mover of Fabregas.
He is.
Very deceptive.
Deceptive, yeah. Probably the exception in the Arsenal team. Oh.
He caught him, Fabregas caught him.
Yeah, when you look at the Arsenal team, you know how dynamic they are. I think just a little clip here, isn't it? Yeah.
I think you'll find the referee's going to have a word, though, with David Dunn.
Is it for the late challenge?
Yeah, I think that's the second or third one he's pointed out to David Dunn that the Blackburn Rovers players committed.
Yeah. I think David Dunn will explain that I'm getting there as quick as I can. I've been out for a while.
Wretched time at Birmingham City, only 69 games played for them in very nearly 4 years. Nelson up to Nonda. Germany to Fabregas. Henry quickly working on the Walker. Early release, looking for Aliadier. Nelson back there again for Blackburn, and he's been resolute so far.
See, when you get that space in front of Henry where he can come short and the ball's played in, there was no midfield there at that time to protect the back four, just whips it round the corner for one of the wide men.
Alas. Ljungberg. Henry coming deep again, look, centre of your picture, trying to pick it up. As Bergkamp used to do, you remember all those years, dropping into a deeper position, and that's Henry trying to find Ljungberg. Kijinishvili got the block, this is Emerton. Now Bentley. Perhaps wanted to do a little bit too much in a tight situation. Done. Pass. I don't think you can blame the bobble. The Arsenal pitch is normally superb.
Misplaced pass, acknowledging the pass from Warner.
He'll try and blame a bobble. Hoyt. Arsenal trying to maintain a high tempo. Blackburn, of course, trying to slow them down. Hoyt. Fabregas, great space to Gallas to the left. And Hoyt finds him. An opportunity here. And he tried to shrug Kijinishvili away.
Yeah, I think the defender's getting in front of him. I think he realised that at the end.
It's a throw to Arsenal. I think one or two of the Blackburn players thought they might have had a free kick there. This is Toure. He's gone for it. Deflected off Mokwena. And now Warnock. Blackburn have given the ball away in deep positions on occasion.
Far too easily. You know, if you look at the team, there's hardly any forward movement. So the ball must obviously be going square or backwards. You know, the wide men are not making runs forward. There's only, say, Nonda who's making any runs forward. It's just a containing situation at the moment.
I'm surprised Arsenal haven't run at Blackburn in more advanced positions. They have conceded a lot of penalties this season. Blackburn 9 in the league. Mind you, who'd score them for Arsenal?
Who's next on the list?
They've missed 8 penalties in 18 months.
And some teams won't get one. Was it Charlton the year I left? think Alan Curtis just said they didn't get one penalty that year.
That's because you used to dive. Point. Oh. That's Barney, he nearly came to done. Now Younger. He's persistent, isn't he, Ali Adier? And he's trying so hard. I mean, this is a player, Mark, who's played 66 games in 6 years. It's, you know, came here with such high potential and high hopes, and again racked by injury.
It's just one of those things, as we said before about David Dunn. You know, he was out on loan and was up in Scotland. West Ham as well, wasn't he?
Now, this is Henri. Youngberg. Moquena snapping away. Henri turning away from Bentley. Everton there to double up now, look.
See, there's 3 players around him. It's the same for Theo Walcott on this side of the pitch as well.
Persistence by Arsenal, they have it back. He picks it up, and for me, he came from an offside position. Gallas. Away by Emerton. Sonderos. And there's 5 minutes to go. Walcott. Nelson for Blackburn. To Nonda. Emerton would have been offside, but anyway, Gallas has it. And as soon as Emerton tried to challenge Gallas for the ball, the assistant referee's flag went up. Arsenal throw.
It's just that none of the white, you know, look at Freddie Lundberg, he's not having any joy against Kishnishvili. And on the left-hand side here, Warnock is really marshalling Theo Walcott well. And with all the pace they've got, they really can't get in behind Blackburn.
Cleared away by Samba. Doing a good job for Blackburn since arriving from Liverpool.
I think he's a fantastic signing, you know, and I think, you know, he's one of the fullbacks who loves to go forward as well. Can stretch the game. Today, he's been restricted to just staying back, but I'm sure as later the game goes on, they're looking for that goal. He'll be going forward. He goes forward with effect as well.
Free kick for Arsenal and a booking for David Dunn.
I think it's a persistent foul, and you can see Mark Hughes just outside the technical area, not happy with that. You know, we know what kind of player Mark Hughes was, and he wants the same from his players, commitment. He's not happy about that at all. Oh,
Fabregas, that was sloppy again. And a poor first half. And I don't think it was ever going to be expansive, Mark, because of Blackburn's injury problems. Warnock's there.
Good play from Warnock.
Free kick for Arsenal. Again, it was the quick feed of Ali Adier that invited the challenge and won the free kick.
I think it's a strong challenge. I'm not sure if it's a foul. I think Mark Hughes is out the technical area again. I don't think he's happy, and I think it's a ball to be won. And I think Warnock goes in for it. It's hard, but is it really a complaint? Not sure. Oh, there's the foul from the captain. Yeah, Nelson holding back. I was going to say the challenge from Warnock for me was strong, but nothing wrong with it.
Fabregas with that free kick. Substitutions was in there, defended by Samba. I also think Blackburn might have had an argument there that when Ali Adier challenged for the ball, Mark Studs was showing. Needing to make up lost ground, Ali Adier. Walcott. Away looking for Henri. Away by Samba. There's Moquena. Familiar territory, picking up the pieces that come off his centre backs. Sonderos. Family. Cushion control by Walcott. Flamini. This is wide on the left-hand touchline. Look at the Blackburn players assembled behind the ball. Ranks of blue. Gallas, Henry. Foul.
In football terms, Blackburn are asking Arsenal questions, and at the moment Arsenal just don't have any answers. You know, they're being frustrated, the crowd are quiet, and this is exactly what Mark Hughes would want.
Henry will take the free kick himself. Blackburn be warned, he's only lost one game when he scored against his English club. In the last 6 years, will he score here? No. It was a poor delivery in, really. And Flamini is being pursued by Nonda and by Dunn, and he's handled it. I think, oh, it's gone the other way.
Oh, it looked like Flamini to me.
Henry. Gallas. Still going, and he's gone for the bent effort. And it's one of the best efforts we've seen in a frustrating first half.
One of very few efforts, and we've seen him do this before. I think it was with Chelsea, wasn't it? Cut inside, right foot, wrapped his foot around it, and buried it. But on that occasion, that's typical of how the game's going so far.
I've seen Arsenal full-back score from there before. Remember Nigel Winterburn got a beaut at Chelsea once. I can't remember Lee Dixon scoring from a similar position.
No, absolutely not.
Perhaps he'll tell us at half-time he did.
I think he scored 2 in his career.
Penalties. Flamini.
Well, I think in the second half you'll see an upping in the tempo from Arsenal. They have to move that ball a bit quicker, even if they're not going forward, get it moved and try and drag the defence out and look for an opening. The forwards a bit more movement, and the wide players need to move infield a little bit.
And Mark Hughes will be the happier of the two managers so far. Resolute defence, dogged, well disciplined, and Arsenal can't find a way through so far. Thierry Henry having one earlier effort wide, Gallas late on as well. But neither keepers have much to do, and that's why at half-time it's Arsenal 0, Blackburn 0.
Well, there'll be people at home thinking they've just seen quite a dull half of football, but Lee and Ian are going to explain to us just why that was a very clever half of football. They snuffed out the very best in each other,
People
didn't
at home asleep, you mean? Yeah, it wasn't
the best, was it?
I think everything that Blackburn were good at created that. I'm not having a go at Blackburn. I was saying they're coming to the Emirates. They've got 2 banks of 4. They've defended really well. They've been really well organised, and that has led to Arsenal not being able to shift them about the pitch like they like to, and no holes behind them. They've kept their lines really tight, and it's created a game that's a little bit stale at the moment. And you just look at Arsenal and just think, you know, we talked about tiredness. There just seems that little lack of snap, although there's 9 changes, and I think that's due to how Blackburn are playing them.
They've done all right, Blackburn, at the moment. Have they got enough, though, to get those breaks? Because at the moment, all they're doing is holding Arsenal, aren't they?
Yeah, but to be fair, when you come to the Emirates and restrict Arsenal to as few of opportunities they've had, I mean, the keepers had nothing to do. When Lee talks about banks of 4, Arsenal masters at getting the banks of 4 spread wide, so they pick holes in you. The lines, the distances from one side of the bank of 4 to the other has been really close, and there's no space to play through or between, and that's what they've done fantastically well. At the moment, I think Mark Hughes would be absolutely delighted with it. They've had 1 or 2 opportunities maybe on the break to get a good opportunity where their final ball's been very poor. But I think Mark would be absolutely thrilled with the half.
When we bear in mind it was 6-2 the last time they came here. And we'll illustrate your point there a little bit later, but there was an early chance for Thierry Henry.
Yeah, and this is probably the first time that he got some space in the... You know, the ball gets played out to Justin Hoyt, I think, eventually. And they close the ball down, and there's just a little gap there. We see it, Thierry wants it in there, and I think from a man of his ability, he should do a bit better than this. If he just puts his laces through, as Mark Bright said, I think he scores. But it's that's the only time that they've got behind him, really, in the first half.
You made the interesting observation, though, and you would know that it's the quieter Henry here today. They're slightly lazier, dare I say, Henry, as opposed to the one that's snaffling at every ball and every chance.
Different ways of playing his game, and today I looked at him first 5-10 minutes, and he's doing a lot of walking around, which sometimes he starts a game like that, then he explodes into the space. There's no space for him to explode into because Blackburn have done that really well. So now he's trying to go a bit deeper to try and get the ball, and that's where Blackburn want him. They want him away. Arsenal play on the break a lot here, but because Blackburn are not coming out in their bank, the banks are just staying as a 4. They're not really, pushing Arsenal back, so there's no space behind the Blackburn back 4.
There's an interesting tussle developing between Warnock and Walcott as well.
Absolutely, yes. It's been one of the features of the game. I mean, me and Lee have been watching it from here, and he's done very, very well, Warnock. Walcott has got the pace to hurt people, but Warnock's really defending well.
Let's have a little look. And we can
This is the first minute. It was interesting when he got the ball. Both me and Ian said, "Go on, have a run at the fullback," and he does. He's got pace. He thinks, "I'll just knock it past him." And Warnock does brilliantly here. Gets his body in the way. He's strong, and he said to Theo, "Do you know what? If you're fast, you've got to be faster than that because I'm going to get my body in the way." Again, this one, he thinks, "Oh, bad touch." He wins the ball back with a tackle, which is good for a winger. And he thinks he'll go inside, but there's no space to him. No space for him to run into, and they close him out.
Coming to that good defensive unit at Blackburn.
Again, this one, close your fullback, close the winger down, stop the cross. Exactly does what's right. The space is there to knock it in, but he closes the ball down well. And again, he's a winger and needs to knock crosses in. He didn't. This is just a flick from a free kick. A little bit unlucky, but I think that was an intriguing battle. I think Warnock's got the better of him, and I think Theo needs the space to run into, which I said again, it's not there for him.
You've got to keep your concentration when you're playing that kind of game, though, for Warnock. So obviously there are, going to be opportunities, aren't there, for Walcott to come into in the second.
Exactly, and he's done. Mark Hughes will be thrilled at half time, but there's another half to go, and it did just start. If one person breaks that 2 banks of 4, all falls down.
So what are they doing very well then, Blackburn?
Well, they're very compact. I mean, I know I won't use that as a word, but as a team, whenever the ball's in a certain area of the pitch, massively the bodies are over. Here we see, the organisation, just as the ball gets played, look, the distance between the back 4 and the midfield 4, no more than 10 yards, no space for any Henry to drift into, but also the distances from across the width are nice and tight, and they pressurise, they get real good pressure on the ball, and they make him play backwards and sideways. And if you make Arsenal do that, it's really a success. Here's another classic example, a bit later in the half, but this really does illustrate, that's fantastic, good distance up the pitch, making sure it's not too stretched, but they're only 10 yards apart, maximum of 12, and that really makes it difficult. And again, good pressure on it's a foul, but they're getting no time to turn and play forward.
I think a few weeks ago when we saw Blackburn play Luton, we talked about Luton playing a high line and how many times they got caught in behind. Now, if you put pressure on the ball, you can have a high line, and Blackburn are doing that brilliantly. They're getting the lines right, but also the 2 front lads are closing the ball down and not giving the player on the ball any time to play.
What's key to it is the 2 wide men, if you like, Burner and Emerton, because they're used to playing at fullback position, they're really helping out Kishnisvili and Warnock. They really are doubling up, and that's making it enormously difficult to get any sort of play down the wide areas.
They've organised, but they've also had their own breaks, their own opportunities. David Dunn engineered possibly their best chance.
This was a great chance. Fabregas just has a slip here, and he's got time on the ball. Nonda makes a great run, and if he just plays the right chip over that 4 he's in, I think we see it from another angle. He's miles onside. There's no question of offside. Dunn gets the ball. For a player of his ability, with his passing ability, you'd expect him just to dink this over. Look,
I don't know what Senderos is doing as well. I mean,
he's caught in no man's land there, so he thinks, I'll gamble and tries to play offside. But that was probably
didn't get the weight of the ball right, otherwise Nonda would have had a really good chance there. Is that where they are going to get a goal from? Is it going to be something like that they've got to take an opportunity from? Because their attacking play hasn't... we couldn't pull any other clicks out, could we?
That's fair. I mean, there's been 1 or 2 opportunities where Nonda's broken off the back of the back 4. And in some ways, when they're playing one up front like Nonda is, sometimes you can get confusion amongst the back 4. Who picks him up? And so once or twice he's broken from a centre-half in behind the full-back, and the ball hasn't been right. So that's the opportunity for me. Really haven't got wide men into... I mean, can't really too many areas where they've crossed the ball in yet. They're looking to play for that central area with Dunn in behind to create something on the break.
See, I told you that they'd explained it was a scintillating half, didn't I? Well, your early evening entertainment comes from Old Trafford today, where Manchester United host Reading. It's a tie filled with nostalgia for Steve Coppell, not only for his 8 years spent there as a player, but for the 1990 Cup final, where as a manager, he came within 7 minutes of winning the Cup for Crystal Palace against his old side. Dominic Cotton has been reminiscing with him.
I'm immensely proud to have been a Manchester United player. It's a phase of my life which, I look back on very rarely, but with huge affection.
Coppell on the right foot. Oh, what a superb shot! Here's Coppell. Yes!
Is going to Old Trafford as an opponent uncomfortable? Is it a strange feeling for you?
Personally, it is totally different now. The stadium, it's a wonderful but totally different theatre from the one I used to play on, and they've moved on, I've moved on, we're at a different phase, and my objective is to try and go there and win.
Cockle.
You were involved as a player in some cup finals. What do you remember of those?
Well, there were a sequence of 3 finals in 4 years, and you know, they sort of run into each other. The first one we were favourites. We played Southampton and beaten on the day.
Magalhaen to Stokes, who's onside. 1-0.
Obviously, that had a real effect on us. And 12 months later, we were back there and playing Liverpool, who were going for the treble. We were the underdogs for that game, but we came through and won. And then 2 years later, we played Arsenal. We scored 2 goals in the closing minutes of the game. Right in the last minute from the kickoff, they scored to win the game 3-2.
You had another brush with the final in 1990.
From my point of view, there could have been no better opposition than Manchester United. First game, we were up in extra time, 3-2.
Right! Goal! It's Ian Wright again!
But not meant to be.
Hughes goes through the middle, chance here for 3-3. Mark Hughes!
You talked about not wanting to denigrate the importance of this competition, and clearly it's one that's very important to you. You will be making a lot of changes for the Cup. Would it not be almost as successful for Reading to finish 12th and win the Cup than finish 7th and not win the Cup?
As far as I'm concerned, this is my strongest team for this game. In our 2 previous rounds, we've made changes, but our desire has been enormous and we've won those games. You have to remember Reading's particular situation, never having been in the top flight, 135 years to get in the top division. As far as every Reading fan is concerned, you know, every Premier League game we play is an FA Cup final. At the same time, saying to everyone, we want to win it. We want to win the competition, we want to win this game.
Your management style is characterised as thoughtful, cranky, I think I read. You know, how do you characterise the way you manage yourself?
Yeah, I am what I am. You know, again, I'll let other people judge. I don't like talking about it. You know, I don't like doing these things. I'll be the first to admit that. The self-analysis is not really where I'm at. You know, I look forward to what I do rather than anything else. And, you know, at the moment, I've chosen to follow this path, and I'll see what happens Saturday.
Coverage of Manchester United against Reading starts on BBC One at 5:05. Alex Ferguson has been singing Steve Coppell's praises this morning in the newspapers. Not sure if that's a little bit of reverse psychology going on there from Fergie, or I'm sure it's genuine sentiment, but he has had a magnificent season for Reading.
He has, and following on from last season, I think it's been well documented how he chopped and changed his side last year when he was going for promotion in the FA Cup. And he's done the same this time. It's interesting him saying that he's not much options for this game. It's his best, strongest team. But I just feel that, you know, the way they've played this year has been outstanding, and a lot of that is due to the fact that it's a team effort, a squad effort, and the fact that some of the players play in the FA Cup and perhaps don't play in the Premiership is key to that. And you know, Arsenal's done it in the Carling Cup with Arsenal, and Steve Coppell's got the balance absolutely bang on as far as I'm concerned.
He clearly has got a best 11, though, Ian, hasn't he, that arguably aren't playing today?
No, I think that's fair, but as Lee says, the only way you get a sense of togetherness is if people actually involved in games, and he's giving some of his squad players a magnificent opportunity to play at arguably the best stadium in the country, you know, in front of, you know, arguably the best team in the country at the moment. So it's a massive fillip for them other, I'll use the word fringe members, you know, of the squad, and they feel part of what will be a fantastic
It's a philosophy
team.
You would adhere to?
Oh, definitely, absolutely. I think you have to, particularly when you come up, you have to have everyone in the squad pushing in the right direction, and Steve obviously puts massive stall by that.
Guaranteed he's going to need some of those players that are going to play at United Day later on in the season when they're running in perhaps for Europe.
So you think a run in Europe next season could be a possibility for Reading?
Of course, they're in a great position and they're playing well, and they've got a belief in their squad. Graham Murty, the other day I talked to him, he said the togetherness is like he's never known before.
Some of their fans, though, still not quite sure they've secured Premiership survival yet, though. A bit pessimistic, methinks. OK, don't forget, from 2:30 today, you can keep up to date with all the goals as they happen on Score. So score from 2:30, followed by final score at 4:45 on BBC One. Match of the day has highlights from all of the fifth round FA Cup ties sponsored by Eon. That starts at 10:45 tonight. You can catch it again at 10 to 8 tomorrow morning. Your live football tomorrow comes from Deepdale, where Preston North End take on Manchester City. Coverage starts at 1 o'clock. At 7:30 tomorrow, you've got the option of a red button selection to see the highlights of Fulham against Tottenham. We're very lucky, of course, to have Ian Dowie. We always are lucky to have you, but during the week you were linked with Leicester, had a chat with Milan Mandaric. Today it's being reported that Coventry are the club seeking and perhaps going to win your services. Fill us in.
I can exclusively reveal I've got a new job, and it's Lee's stylist. Clearly I've got a big job on my hands, you know. Clearly I've got a big job on my hands. I mean, it's always nice to be linked to people like that. I've certainly, yeah, you know, I did have a nice chat with Milan, and you know, things are moving on apace with different situations. Other than that, I can't say too much more. Certainly nothing concrete at the moment.
Are we not keeping you entertained enough on a Saturday lunchtime?
You're definitely keeping me entertained enough. On the other hand, my partner in crime is driving me mad.
On that word, entertainment, how do we get that in the second half? Are they going to bring on some substitutions, Arsenal?
I certainly hope so. I think Blackburn will probably keep it the same. You know, they're doing everything right as far as their manager's concerned. But I think Adebayor, I know he was exhausted during the week, but you know, the euphoria of getting through and scoring 2 goals, hopefully he'll get a run out in the second half, and you know, they've got some pace on the bench.
When you're on that kind of form though, wouldn't you be itching to get off the bench?
As a player, yeah.
But you see, I think he brings what the Arsenal need today. He's one of them lads who does chase lost causes and brings energy and lifts the crowd. From even chasing and pressurising the defender, he lifts the crowd. So I think that may be the case. Adebayor's worked hard enough. I just think it will be a time for Adebayor. Also, if you're going to cross the ball, Adebayor is a big power in the air.
You just feel that Arsenal can still cause Blackburn problems that they so far have been failing to do.
I think Blackburn will stay the same, so it's up to Arsenal to try and change it. They've got to try and move those 2 lines out of the way somehow and shift their back 4, and they do that with movement. And Rosicky again on the bench, he's got a huge amount of ability off the ball as well as on the ball. So we might see a couple of changes and see what happens at half-time.
OK, let's see if it does change in the second half and rejoin our commentary team, Mark Wright and Jonathan Pearce.
Thanks very much again, Gabby. Outcome Blackburn Rovers. We understand no changes for the start of the second half. Still big names left on the bench, of course. Almunia keeping his place in the Arsenal goal for a cup tie, as we said at the start of the programme. There's Gallas back again. The big names, Ljungberg with his cup tradition. Thierry Henry starting again, this time up front with Ali Adier. And as far as Blackburn Rovers are concerned, well, they were missing key names. We knew that, the likes of McCarthy and Savage, of course, and Pedersen. Ishinishvili back at right back. And that man there has played a key role. We were talking at half-time about Blackburn keeping a high line at times, but pressurising Arsenal on the ball. And McQuain has been largely responsible for that, Mark, snapping away in midfield.
Well, you always need somebody in midfield, don't you? Getting tight, closing down. But what they've done is just stop that ball into Thierry Henry, into feet in the centre of the field, and you know, it's been very rare when he's been allowed to receive that pass. And the midfielder, McQuain and Bentley, really doing more defensive role. You can just see Bentley likes to get forward, but he hasn't had the opportunity to get forward.
Arsenal will kick off the second half on that famous red and white strip.
Will you please contact the nearest steward? Thank you, Tim.
It wasn't an exciting first half. Blackburn Rovers, conservative tactics, played a big part in that. But there's no blaming Blackburn in that. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
Well, as I said before, Jonathan, when you're playing away from home and playing here at the Emirates Stadium, you know, you've got to have a game plan.
And Arsenal get around the back in the second half. Well, Blackburn come out a little bit more. Early touch for Hoyt, and on to Toure. It's his 40th game of the season. It's Arsenal's 43rd and 62nd in the last calendar year.
Successful teams play a lot of games.
Up to Henry, roasting between defenders, but a little bit too early.
Good position there for any striker, just pull off the centre-back's shoulder, in between the full-back, centre-back. Obviously he's just drifting offside there, but that's a really good position.
Up goes Emerton with Gallas, came off the Arsenal defender. Done. Hooked in early for Nonda. Not too sure Arsene Wenger would relish a replay, not with the Champions League underway again. There's Pat Rice alongside him. We heard from Steve Coppell at half-time talking about his cup tradition. Well, Pat Rice had one, and of course this man has his own cup tradition, Arsene Wenger. He's virtually been in every final for the last 5 or 6 years. Well, one by Warnock, Nonda, Mokwena, Samba, Burner, Nonda's offside.
Yeah. Just running offside so many times, and you know, as I said before in the first half, he's a player who's looking to get in behind, and lots of players like to come short, but not many like to run in behind all the time. It's hard work. Well, he's only got to get it right once.
Fabregas looking for Aliadier. Burner. Nelson gives it back to him. And into Nonda. Flamini to Fabregas. Arsenal going for an 8th quarter-final place in the last 10 seasons in the FA Cup.
Yeah, great tradition. You know, I'm sure that Lee Dixon will know that once you've gone on to win it, you know, the hunger, rather than sort of being sort of quenched, it just makes you want more.
It's a record that Blackburn had at the end of the 19th century. 6 finals and 1 semi-final in 9 years. It's a throw to Arsenal, and Hoyt will take it. There is Adebayor warming up. No wonder he was exhausted in midweek at Bolton. Ran those long legs into the ground. There's Rosicki alongside him. Sonderos. Kijinishvili. And in by Emerton to Bentley. He had more time than he thought. And David Dunn, for one, is saying to him, just calm down, hold possession. So Toure for Arsenal. Still going. It was blocked by Warner. Looked then like a training ground exercise. Attackers v defenders. Come and beat us.
Well, we always said that the game doesn't move forward until everyone's comfortable in possession. That's exactly what Arsenal are. Centre back there, taking people on and having a shot.
That's back to Fabregas. Oh, was he bundled over? Did he dive? Play on, says the referee.
Oh, it seemed like a foul to me.
Burner to Dunn. Challenge by Flamini. Ljungberg. Not the best of passes to Theo Walcott. Invited the challenge by Warnock. It's an Arsenal throw.
Yeah. Still in opposition for him today, Walcott, with Warnock. I think he's got to try and move him, just move him in field a little bit and come short and go long.
Fabregas into Aliadier. Says Fabregas again, looking for Walcott. Hoyt escapes Bruno Berner's challenge. Flamini bobbles it on. Henry. There's Gallas. And look, Emerton and Kijinishvili doubling up. They are determined that Arsenal will not get down the flanks. Sonderos.
But the problem they have, though, Blackburn, they're doing really well defensively. You have to say, doubling up, stopping Arsenal from getting forward, especially in the wide areas. But once they win the ball, we can just see they can't keep it because everybody's so deep. You know, there's only one striker up front. If they don't find that one striker, Arsenal gain possession and then they start to build again.
I saw Mark Hughes there, scored 5 goals in away games against Arsenal in his playing days. Enjoyed great success against them for Manchester United, of course. Not for Blackburn, at the tail end of his career, his playing career. Kijinishvili.
Just listen to some fans at half-time. They said, the Arsenal fans, they were saying they want Blackburn to score, so it makes Arsenal play a bit better. And I'm thinking, well, you're not creating a lot at the moment, Arsenal fans.
Ooh, that's a risky back pass by Samba, and Ali Adier was nearly in.
It's the last thing you want, isn't it? Give Arsenal a chance.
Flamini. Aquena went to ground. And this is Warnock, who loves this sort of bustling, buccaneering run. And he's still going. Sondros will get it away easily for Arsenal in the end to Hoyt. And now Fabregas. Ali Adier. Hoyt is wide. Two men in the middle. It's come off McQueen's head.
You just see Warner out of position there, but I think Burner filled in for him in the left-back situation. Mokoena coming back, just getting himself in a good position.
Sonderos forward. Ooh, and it's deflected almost through to Gallas. Kizhinishvili in the end finds Nonda. I think it came off the head of Ryan Nelson originally and flew dangerously on in the penalty area. Here's Gallas's throw to Henry. Again, lovely cushioned first touch by the Arsenal captain. Oh, Flamini's mistake gives Blackburn a chance back. Just about to say there, Arsenal seem to be gathering momentum.
Trying to pick up the tempo. Trying to pick up the tempo, and that's what it's all about. Trying to move that ball a little bit quicker, drag defenders out of positions, drag midfield players out of positions.
Certainly not a sellout here today, as we were led to believe. Ukrainer's there, Kizhinishvili, Bentley. Dunn trying to flick it beyond Gallas. Run into Nonda.
See what he's trying to do.
Walcott. Challenge on him by Warner.
Yeah. His touch, when the ball comes out to him, his first touch isn't sure, so he doesn't get hold of it, and then he's struggling. Warner closing down ever so quickly, and he keeps giving the ball away.
Fabregas. Walcott. Now Hoyt. Arsenal cannot find an opening. Will they now? Flamini. Henry. Ljungberg making a great run. Kizhinishvili blocked it off. Oh, it's one of those promising late Freddie Ljungberg runs. Become such a feature of Arsenal's play over the last 5 or 6 years. But here's Nonda. Bentley. Not a good pass. Everton had to track back. Kizhinishvili. Aquena. Samba.
I mean, that's just awful. That really just is awful play. You know, just punting it into the area there. If anything, you can just go to the other centre-back or go back.
Again, hasn't played a lot of football this season. Started a Bundesliga game for Hertha Berlin before his £400,000 move last month. Ljungberg. Kizhinishvili and Emerton.
Yeah, doubling up, that's the feature of Blackburn's play. When they're out of possession. You know, it takes a lot of hard work as well, and I just thought that with the majority of this team playing in midweek, if Arsenal start the game at a high tempo, later on in the game, surely their legs will start to feel it. But the game's been played at walking pace. I think it suits Blackburn more than it does Arsenal.
Hoyt. Ali Adier to Fabregas. That uncanny knack of finding space. Henry. Position that he loves, coming in, rolling in from the left.
That's what we said about variation in the team. Freddie Ljungberg going infield, Henry coming in, taking his place on this wide position. As you said before, he loves to come in from the side.
56,761 in the crowd, around about 3,000 below the average. Hoyt. Walcott. Into Flamini. Uses Gallas. Ljungberg wide. And Samba. has time. And, questions asked there of Emerton by Bentley. And here's Ljungberg. Bentley tracking back, trying to atone. Oh, Ljungberg was caught by Emerton. It wasn't a good tackle. I don't know whether the referee's playing the advantage, Mark, or didn't see it.
I think he saw it. I think he played the advantage, but it was a straight leg, wasn't it? Caught him down the shin. It's one of those things where you go to ground and you try and scoop the ball and play it to somebody. There he goes to ground, there he slides, just caught him down the side of the shin. Not sure if the referee got a good view of it, obviously didn't.
Arsenal put the ball out of play.
Yeah, but you know, the game is, you know, the rule is that the referee has to stop the game. You know, we do that, and this seems like it's just continued, this vein of like, we put it out, you give it us back.
That's what's happened.
Yeah.
Arsenal have it. With Hoyt. 57 minutes gone of an uneventful game. Flamini. Hoyt. Flamini has it again. Ali Adier. Walcott. Just wide.
Good play there from Ali Adier. You can see Walcott coming in from the line, leaving a little bit of space for the fullback Hoyt to come forward. Ali Adier links the play. Now he's in a central position. He's free of Warnock, and he managed to get a shot, obviously off target, but a lot better.
To score for the Arsenal. This is his 11th start. Oh, mistake by Almunia. Little chip by Mark Hughes. There's his travelling support. Around about 1,000 of them. Here's Flamini. Fabregas, closed by Dunn. And makes headway on Toure. Walcott. It's pulled back. Ali Adier. The touch took it away from the defender. There's Fabregas. Bentley's there with him. Adier's with the cross. Mokwena to Bentley. Chased by Ali Adier. Kizhinishvili. Here's Nonda. Scored late on in the week to really give Blackburn a precious lifeline in the UEFA Cup. They play Leverkusen in the second leg on Thursday. This is Henry. Samba couldn't get it away, and Ljungberg is now offside. And I think it's because when the ball originally came through, he was in an offside position, but surely the last touch is now for defender, isn't it?
I don't think he was offside. I think Henry pokes the ball. I think he comes from an onside position. Oh, he is, yeah. But he's in an offside position originally when Henry pokes the ball. Even though it comes off the defender, I think he's still in offside position.
Arsenal making a substitution. And the comeback of William Gallas is lasted just short of an hour. And Gal Clichy comes on. Talked about Arsenal building a team reminiscent of previous sides here. I mean, Clichy for Ashley Cole. It's similar players.
Yeah.
Reminds me very much of a young Ashley Cole.
Well, I remember, obviously we saw Steve Coppell at half-time, and he took Ashley Cole on loan. And he was at Crystal Palace, and I saw him play one of his first few games, and I just couldn't believe how good he was going forward. You know, he's improved defensively a lot, as he's proved one of the best left-backs in the world.
And he looks for Dunn, who's offside.
But Clichy, they're young. You can just see, you know, there's a very inexperienced side now, if you look at it. On the right-hand side, Hoyt. They got Theo Walcott in front of him, and then Ali Adier on the right-hand side of the strike partnership. You know, very inexperienced on that side of the pitch. But you said before, you know, you go away on loan and you learn your trade.
Fabregas to Henry. Kizhinishvili's touch sends it back to Brad Friedel, who's on his way to a 12th clean sheet this season. Sondros with a header. Here's Ljungberg. busiest second half so far for Freddie
Well,
Ljungberg.
Yeah, I mean, as we can see, we tried at the tempo, but, you know, it takes two teams, but Blackburn doing what they have to do. You know, I think they're trying to slow it down and take the pace out of the game.
Sanderos gives Hoyt something to think about. Fabregas. Here's Bentley. Clichy did well. Ljungberg. Aliadier. Chased by Samba. And the referee deciding it's a free kick, quite rightly so.
See, I'm not sure that's a free kick. I think he plays the ball onto Samba's leg.
Flamini. Walcott will have a run at Warnock. Stumbling. But Warnock's defended very well against him.
He's a good player. Said before there, he's just getting a little 5 there from Burner. I think, you know, looking at it on a one-to-one challenge, he's winning that duel, no question. You know, you can see a good defender. When that ball goes to Walcott, he's quick. He closes Walcott down. He doesn't give him a chance to get going, because I think he knows on a straight run, he's probably not as quick as Walcott, but he doesn't give him the opportunity to get going.
Shabani Nonda. Bruno Berner. He's just clipped by Cesc Fabregas.
Getting a bit cramped there.
22-year-old.
Shouldn't be getting cramped after an hour.
Yeah, played a little bit of football in Germany for Freiburg, but started off at the Grasshoppers Club. He was signed from Basel last month and against Everton last week. Bentley with the free kick for Blackburn. Scored from this sort of range in the week in the UEFA Cup. And the header was down and scooped up in the air by Flamini. Samba's headed down in the box. Blackburn are waiting to bring Matt Derbyshire on. He had a very good game at Luton in the last round.
I was very impressed with him.
He's been struggling with an injury since. It's on by Nonda. Dunn will chase. And Dunn has it. Looking for Burner.
Yeah.
Sort of betwixt and between that sort of pass. So Almunia came and grabbed it. And now Walcott. Can Arsenal break? 63 minutes gone. Aliadier. Hoyt. Burner has it. Warnock's waiting there. Loves these sort of runs. Into Nonda. Back to Warnock again. It's possessed by Clichy. Dunn was following up. Torre got his head in. Fabregas. Head upright. Looking. Finding Henry. Wide to Aliadier. Has to go even wider. 3 men in the middle, but he couldn't find them. He may well have knocked Bruno out, has he? Bruno Berner.
I think he's feeling the pace a little bit.
He's okay.
Good counter-attacking football from Arsenal, just moving the ball down the pitch.
Fabregas with Arsenal's 6th corner of the game. Torre arriving late in the penalty area, and he was in there. This is Flamini, blocked by Nonda. Fabregas again. Headed out by Nelson. And now Bentley. Looking for Nonda. Sanderos comes and gathers. Oh, that's a fine chip ball to Ljungberg, was it? No, just too long.
Optical illusion from where we were sitting. Looked like it was just right. Well, 65 minutes gone. I think Derbyshire's down there waiting to come on. You know, this will be a positive move. I wonder if it'll be David Dunn or who'll come off, you know, 2 games in a week, maybe feeling a bit leggy.
He's gone through Bentley there. Henry. Fabregas. Ljungberg. Flamini continuing his run just inside Ljungberg. He's fouled by Kujanishvili.
Yes. He's claiming his innocence, but it's a clear trip.
Now, what can Arsenal do here with 25 minutes to go? He's the man with his arms raised. And he's there pointing to the assistant referee to keep an eye on what goes on inside the penalty area. Kijinishvili. Walcott. No quality on the cross. No conviction on the cross.
Yeah, saw Kolo Touré out there trying to support him and shouted him. In a different game for him, really.
Well, I can tell you there's movement on the Arsenal bench, and I think Rosicky and Adebayor are going to come on.
Would make sense.
Here's Hoyt. Lamine. Warnock again reading the situation well. Samba had to react quickly. Up goes Touré. All very higgledy-piggledy. Dunn wins the foul. Well, there's Adebayor. I think Blackburn will be making the first substitution in what will be a flurry of changes. Here comes Derbyshire. And Berners the man who's going to go off.
Bruno Berner.
Only a second game for Blackburn. How's he done, Mark?
Well, he's just been containing, hasn't he? Doubling up, helping out with Warnock, getting back. It's very hard to see, you know, he's playing against Arsenal away and playing in a certain way to see him. He hasn't really expressed himself to me. But you only get better the more games you play.
On comes Matt Derbyshire, who worked in the Blackburn Rovers community office as a kid, helping coach younger children before he made it as a player himself. And Adebayor is going to come on. Theo Walcott's the man who departs. Though Adebayor won't play in Walcott's position.
No.
The next man who comes on will...
I think Ali Adier will probably go out there.
Replaced by 25, Emmanuel Adebayor.
Raw for Adebayor. His goals in the week took him into double figures. And Rosicky comes on for Freddie Lundberg.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about Arsenal's wide men needing to get amongst the goals, and certainly Thomas Rosicky can do that. He has the pedigree. He's only got 4 this season in his first season in English football. As Freddie Lundberg departs, and Arsenal have made their 3 changes.
It looks like Derbyshire have come up and taken a wide right position, and I thought he might have gone down the middle.
It's on by Emerton, who's gone to the left. This is Nelson.
Both managers putting strikers on, or forwards on.
Yeah, trying to dispossess Nelson. That's an Arsenal throw. Matt Derbyshire played really well at Luton.
Excellent, really was. Great runs. Took a knock in the face, showed bravery.
Scored 5 goals in his last 7 games, Mark.
He's a finisher, makes some really good runs.
Also look for Adebayor. Emmanuel Adebayor. Gangly, difficult to deal with, and again he's got a striker's touch. And Monda's gone down there holding his thigh.
Do you know,
Mark Hughes is fuming that they haven't got a free kick.
The assistant's about 3 yards away from it. Sendros has wrapped his leg around Nonda to try and win the ball. It must be a foul.
I think Blackburn should have had a foul there. This is Adebayor. Flamini, Fabregas. Henry. A number of blue shirts back there. And Mokoena played an important part, though. He's got an injury. Henry's down as well. Bentley's down and winning a free kick. There's Henry.
Yeah, I think it's Mokoena who tangled with.
Derbyshire. To Nonda. 20 minutes to go. Bentley. Warnock. Emerton. Flamini was a little bit late to arrive to make the challenge. And there's Ali Adier. To a roar of approval from the Emirates fans.
Well, they've got more players forward now, Blackburn, than at any other stage in the game. Obviously the plan, 65, 70 minutes, and then have a go for it.
Should it go to a replay? Wednesday the 28th. With the Champions League for Arsenal and the UEFA Cup for Blackburn, in which they're doing very well. Neither side wants another game at this stage of the season. Fabregas looking for Henry and away by Samba.
You just see the difference that Rosicky will play on the left-hand side. Will he stay wide, or does he go infield and feed off the front men? Because they've got a lot of movement up front now.
Flamini. I was looking for Adebayor, but Kishinishvili was well placed. Interesting to see if Derbyshire and Kishinishvili are as tight a defensive unit as Emerson and the Georgian defender were earlier. Now Arsenal carry on here. Dunn thinks he should have had a free kick.
I think he should as well.
This is Adebayor. Beyond Kishinishvili. There's Samba to cover. Adebayor up through the gears, and Samba simply cut across it.
Well, if that was on the halfway line, I think the referee gives obstruction. Samba's arm comes across, regardless of whether he would have got the other side of him. Because then Friedel comes out, knocks it past, runs across his line. I think that anywhere else in the pitch, I think the referee gives obstruction.
Did he go across his line, or was he simply holding his own running line?
Well, it's just one of those situations where a defender is allowed to do that when the ball's running out of play. You just run across this striker's line and hush it out. Anywhere else on the pitch, it should be a foul.
Rosicky into Henry. No free kick.
No.
Went down looking for it.
Just a different injection of pace there. Rosicky coming inside. There's the outstretched leg. Trying to control it, the touch took it away from him, but he runs in the back of Samba.
Reportedly told he'll play no part in next weekend's Carling Cup final against Chelsea, because he's played no part in it so far, and the youngsters will have their chance. Mind you, if there are injuries in the week, there could be changes to that plan.
Yeah, well, that's what Wenger's saying, and he's usually very honest in those situations. And call the days of change when you get to a cup final, a major cup final, and you know you're not going to play what is perceived to be your strongest team.
Here's Fabregas looking for Adebayor. Oops.
In a situation like that, you can see Emerton's got nowhere to go. He's got nowhere to go, no one to help him. And Adebayor just needs to keep the pressure on. And what will he do? Will he try and risk it back to the goalkeeper or kick it out?
Subi Kishinishvili with a strong display from the defender from Tbilisi. That Derbyshire. Ooh, that's speculative. And that is the best effort we've had in the game so far. And he nearly did it again in the FA Cup.
Well, was he trying to hook it over his shoulder into the bar, or was he shooting? Doesn't really matter. Almouni gave him a problem, you can see. Probably hits the bar and stays in play, or might have just gone underneath. It's the only shot on target.
74 minutes gone. Blackburn Rovers have their first corner of the game. Bentley, the former Arsenal old boy, will do it. Kishinishvili will attack the near post. Nonda's in there as well. That's come off Toure.
Only just.
Blackburn taking their time. Kishinishvili told to get on with it by the assistant referee, Roy Burt. And this is done. Clichy releases to Henry. And he has the right-hand side, and he was checked by Bentley. Yellow card.
That's the first one of the match, isn't it?
Second, Dunn was booked in the first half. Bentley caution. Rosicky. Flamini. Ali Adier. Rosicky. Jaunty movement from him so far. Ali Adier. Oh, risky challenge. Cross looking for Henry. The game's opened up a little bit. Should Arsenal have had a penalty?
I think so. I think so. The majority of the crowd over that side would as well. But good play, good turn. There's the leg. It's a penalty.
That should have been a penalty for the challenge by Warner.
Yeah, mistimes it, catches the left leg. You can see straight away Bentley saying no. I think Flamini's saying yes.
Arsenal should have had a penalty for the challenge by Warnock on Ali Adier. Mind you, Blackburn will point out that several decisions in the game haven't gone their way, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely, especially down this right-hand side here.
Not as key as that one, though.
No, it's always a key decision, isn't it? And you'd have to say that the referee, Martin Atkinson, you know, I think he's got the majority of things right.
Well, he doesn't get a replay.
Of course he doesn't, and you know, with benefit of hindsight, it's always the same situation, isn't it? But my first instinct was a penalty just looked a mistimed tackle.
But a lot of managers are saying that too many big key decisions are wrong this season.
I think we say that every year, we really do. And it always comes back to the shall we or shan't we video evidence, and in those situations it's not conclusive. Not always, from because their camera angle isn't quite right for us.
How long would that have taken, though, for that replay to have been shown down to the fourth official and then a message out to the referee?
Well, the man in the stand becomes the most important man at the match, doesn't he, then? He overtakes the referee. It's his decision, as opposed to the referee's call and the assistants.
Well, it works in cricket.
Well, you know, it didn't work in rugby the other week, did it, with the Johnny Wilkinson try?
This, at the other end, for me, the best moment of the game. Krasitsky. There's Henry. Grubber of a cross, blocked by Mokwena. Fabregas ducked into it. Bentley comes out with it. Now done. Must be offside. Done by Derbyshire, and he's onside. Oh, and the ball bubbled out.
It's one thing we said about Derbyshire, you know, played against Luton, he's willing to run in behind, always looking to bend the run and get in and stretch the game. Myself prefer to see him down the middle, but that then would force David Dunn into a wider position.
This is Rosicki. Looked by Kuzinishvili quite cynically.
Yeah, should be a yellow card.
Be his 7th of the season if it is.
Yeah, I think he knew what he was doing. I think in football terms, he's out the game. He's been done, as we say. I don't know why the referee's taking so long about issue the card, and, you know. You go, cynical, there you go. The referee's right on the situation as well, a few yards away from it.
Here's Rosicki. And we're trying to lever the ball away from Blackburn Rovers' Ryan Nelson. This is Derbyshire.
Yeah, you can just hear the bench. Go, Matt, go. They wanted to run with it and stretch the game.
Coming to the end of the period, by the way, when a player can get suspension for 5 yellow cards in a season. It's the last day of February is the cut-off point. Here's Flamini. Boyd gives it back to him. Toure. Nelson does well. Blackburn have defended well. There's been a lack of spark about Arsenal. Adebayo now.
Yeah. Little nudge. They haven't been able to get the ball to him, have they? Lovely feet, good skills.
Let's have a look at that penalty incident again. He's got a clear view.
Yeah, I mean, there's the turn, change direction. That's the foot. Now, I don't know how he can't give that. I mean, he's got a great view of it.
Didn't make contact with the ball, made contact with the man. Ali Adier from Warnock's mistake. Fabregas. Toure. Sondros. Into the last 10 minutes. Clichy. Rosicki. And still, and he's done very well beyond the stretching Mokwena to find Clichy. Recovered. Kuzinishvili's still there with him. Clichy's away now, though. Chance for Arsenal. 2 men in the middle. Ball back for Fabregas, the wrong option, and Nelson clears it away. Nando's kept it in. And that's an Arsenal throw.
Yeah. Well, Clichy did everything right there, but square it, didn't he?
Nando thinks he was fouled by Sonderos, and Mark Hughes is irate. Fabregas. Hoyt. Back to Fabregas. Ali Adier. Hoyt. Ali Adier spooning one up for Henry. Away by Samba. Rosicki. Fabregas.
Well, putting the pressure on now a little bit, Arsenal. I think Mark Hughes is irate as he just doesn't think he's getting any rub of the green here. This is the shot here, comes in from Fabregas. It's a scissor kick and he never really gets hold of it. There's just a few decisions down here, the near side, in front of the benches, and I think that's what makes him more irate. You can see it, and he feels that Nando was fouled by Senderos.
Away by Toure. Nelson, I think he's been superb for Blackburn. Dunn's offside.
Yeah, we have to say, you know, as a spectacle, no, it hasn't been great. It's not great to work on, it's not great to watch. But, you know, it's about results. You know, Mark Hughes knows they've had a hard game midweek. He hasn't got a second team to put out, and he's set up to defend. And obviously, with 20 minutes to go, he's thrown on a striker and have a go for a goal, which might obviously clinch it for them.
Here's Hoyt. Ali Adier has it back again. He's worked hard.
And ball.
Midway trying to get it back. It hit Warnock. Here's Hoyt. I was asking a lot of Henry against Samba. Oh, good defending, good snappy midfield tackling. As much of the game, part of the game, Marcus. Quality striking. I've always been an admirer of abrasive qualities in that area myself. On comes Roberts.
Reflects you as a player. Well, he's another positive move. Jason Roberts coming on. Nanda, oh, I'm sure he feels he hasn't had anything off the referee today. It's a little shrug of the shoulders.
Being replaced by 30.
Arsenal have painful memories of Roberts because for Wigan last season he turned in a superb display at Highbury to send Wigan through to the Carling Cup final. He's been out for a long time injured.
Yeah.
A couple of substitutes cameo roles recently, including in the midweek Roberts. This is Rosicki. Fabregas. It's come to Rosicki! Good block by Friedel.
What a save.
Now, can Blackburn break? Frantic final 10 minutes. Henry, cleverly done. Fabregas. Adebayor, chased by Samba.
Oh, that's a foul.
Land of the Giants there. Clichy. It's a throw in. Fabregas, Rosicki. You saw Arsenal's best chance of the game come and go there. Now Hoyt. And Ali Adier. I think he deserves something. Challenged by one at Rosicki. Nelson was aware. Bentley. Derbyshire. Off Fabregas. Blackburn's throw. Biggest save he's had to make.
It was a good play, wasn't it? You can see Rosicki starts the move and continues his run, gets a little bit lucky there, then just stabs it with the left foot. And Friedel does ever so well. This is where he just gets a little break here.
Handball though in the build-up. Adebayor unnoticed. Fabregas. Nelson stepped out. Bentley. 5 minutes to go, but there will be a couple of minutes of stoppage time, I would have thought.
I don't know, Arsenal can keep going right to the end, don't we?
Ali Adier. Hoyt. Ali Adier. Rosicki. Goes for it. Did it hit Henry on the way through there?
Not sure, but you can see him. Comes in off the line, joins in down the middle of the pitch. You know, and as great as Arsenal were in midweek in that first 45 minutes, they've just been as poor today. A a lot of it's down to the way that Blackburn have set up to play. You know, they haven't come in here to join in the party.
Derbyshire. Chest trap. Looks for Roberts. Pressurising Toure. Here's done. Away by Toure. Clichy got his head to it. Aquina. Have to get there again. Samba finds Bentley. That's a nice cultured turn away from Rosicki. In the end, the free kick goes against David Bentley.
Yeah.
You won't argue against that decision, Mark Hughes. Here's Rosicki. Now Hoyt. Ali Adier. To the last 3 minutes. Rosicki. Ali Adier. No. Henry. Mokoen had to stretch. Adebayor. Real opportunity for Arsenal. Henry lifts it. Save. And a brilliant recovery to thwart Hoyt. That was magnificent.
Fantastic play from Friedel. Not sure if Warnock got anything on it as well. Just all, look at this. Really can't clear the ball, Blackburn at the back. Good play from Adebayor. Tried to find Henry. You have to say, what defensive play there from Friedel.
And a kick taken very quickly. Here's Toure. Sandaros. Rosicki lost concentration.
Well, Arsene Wenger's down the technical area. This is Henry. He just thinks he's just going to finish this. Fingertip save, but he's up again here because I think Warnock gets across. No, he doesn't get anything on it. It's a great save from Friedel.
I think that is one of the saves of the season, the second one.
It's good play. There he is again. Fingertip save, but he's up. And that's what they do in training all the time. They have two people shooting at them, one shoots and then the other one shoots straight away and they get up. And that's probably where it's all come from.
Henry, Ali Adier, an urgency about Arsenal now. A belated urgency. This is Emerton.
Oh,
came off Clichy through to Derbyshire.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at a game plan from Mark Hughes' perspective, come here, keep it quiet, defend really well. In the last 15 or 20 minutes, have a go, throw some players forward. If you get the goal, you go back to defending.
The last 10 times Arsenal have reached the 5th round, they've made it to at least the semis. They've made the final in 6 of those last 10 campaigns, winning 5. That's the sort of pedigree Blackburn have dealt with today, and dealt with it very well.
And as I say, their resources aren't as good. See Arsene Wenger in the technical area, arms out wide, not happy. I think there was a foul from Samba.
Toure. Ali Adier, back to him.
Good, and that's
a goal kick, and that's a very good decision.
Excellent. But once again, Kolo Toure, virtually ever present in this team. Just turning defence into attack, winning the ball and going forward. Fantastic play from him. Fantastic play. It is again. Really, Henry doesn't really get hold of that ball. And he's just trying to lift it over the goalkeeper. That's the save. Then look how quick he's up. 2 steps. And it's really important.
Now, anyone out there at home who's 6'3" and 14 stone, try that in your living room a little bit later on. And I don't think you'll manage it.
Oh, it's great reaction. As I said before, it's the kind of thing they do all day long in training.
Fabregas, 3 minutes of stoppage time to be played. Rosicki dummied it. Samba read the dummy. And if in doubt, clouted out.
Yeah.
Bit rudimentary, but it's relieved. Pressure momentarily. Back it comes. Kizhinishvili. Rosicki. Derbyshire was a little bit haphazard. This is Clichy. Rosicki. Flamini making the burst into the box.
Oh, too hard.
Woods made a present of it to Emerton. Here's Roberts. And a chance here now for the visitors. Waits for Emerton to arrive.
The moment's gone, hasn't it?
Here's Dunn. this and will be infuriated by it, but his manager will be delighted, and so will the Blackburn
You can
fans.
see them smiling faces behind him. They've had to work really hard and not very happy, Arsene Wenger, today. It's just been a very un-Arsenal-like performance. And a lot of that is down to Blackburn and the way they've set up.
Andy Todd to come
Andy
on.
Todd, yeah.
And David Dunn departs.
Well, he's virtually completed 2 games as in a week, and, you know, he's got a smile on his face, I think. You can see that the touch is there. He just needs to stay fit, continue to train, and then work his way back gradually. But Mark Hughes must be delighted with his contribution.
Well, Arsene Wenger and Arsenal weren't very happy with Wigan's tactics last week. You remember there was a words exchange between Thierry Henry and Chris Kirkland, the goalkeeper. Here's Thierry Henry. Mind you, I remember George Graham's Arsenal. Mark, and 1-0 up with 2 minutes to go. They didn't take any risks.
Oh, it's a foul.
Adebayo has won the free kick. Rosicki. Adebayo is stretching. Samba stuck out a toe. This is Roberts. Roberts. 30 seconds to go. Bentley, blocked by Flaminick.
It looks like it's going to be a replay, and another game that both teams really probably didn't want. But I suppose Blackburn's perspective, they'd come down here and say, would you take a replay? Yeah, of course they would.
Both names will go into the hat on Monday, it seems. Draw 1:30. Kizhinishvili, we've had the 3 minutes of stoppage time. It's a free kick to Arsenal. Mark Hughes exasperated. Todd's holding on to it.
Don't tell me he's going to get a yellow card.
Well, I don't think he's touched the ball. He's had a yellow card. I don't think he's touched the ball, has he? The substitute. Fabregas. Rosicki. Into Adebayo.
I think he lost it in the sun, I'm not sure of. I think Ali Adier's coming round the back of him.
Terrific at Bolton in midweek. Resilient and
awesome.
Entertaining and talented, but it's been a little bit like after the Lord Mayor's show today for Arsenal.
Yeah, as I was quite looking forward to it as well, to be honest. But it's his football, and all credit to Blackburn as well, because, you know, they've come down here to do a job, and that's what they've done.
Well, having conceded 6 here before Christmas as well.
Exactly.
I know how bad they felt after that defeat, because they felt that it flattered Arsenal. 4 minutes of stoppage time have been played.
Yeah, Mark Hughes has just got his arms out wide.
Ali Adier in. Henry looking for Adebayo and away by Nelson. And the full-time whistle blows. And Arsene Wenger's Arsenal frustrated by Mark Hughes and Blackburn Rovers. He'll be delighted, Mark Hughes. He knows all about this competition and what it takes to win it. And his side have held Arsenal at the Emirates to a goalless draw. Chances for either side. Late on, 2 splendid saves by Brad Friedel, the Blackburn Rovers goalkeeper, from Henry and Hoyt. At the other end, Blackburn didn't really create much, very conservative, but there was one lovely effort on goal by the substitute Derbyshire, flicked over by the goalkeeper Almunia. Henry and Arsenal goalless. It's finished 0-0 at the Emirates.
There have been very long odds before the game for a 0-0 here. Am I being too kind in interpreting that performance as 2 teams who wanted it too much?
No.
Yeah, I think you are.
I think you are, definitely. I think, you know, fair play to Blackburn. They've come here, they had a game plan, they've kept to it, they've got a replay, and they're still in the cup. For a spectacle point of view, it's spoiled a little bit. You can't blame Blackburn for that. You know, it's a tough place to come and get a result. And, you know, lack of invention from Arsenal. They got a few chances in the second half, and maybe a penalty, as we'll see in a minute. But, you know, fair play to Blackburn. They've come and done a job.
Let's have a look at the penalty shout, because we have some interesting angles, and one which shows, I think, to all of us that it did seem to be
Well,
stopped.
I mean, it's great feet by the end. It's just a silly challenge from Warnock, who was excellent all day. I mean, it's a penalty all day long. Oh, it's absolute. Particularly, I think, when you see the referee's view, it's incredible why he doesn't give it.
I don't really know why he's making the challenge, because he's not really going to get a shot off away on goal. He dives in a little bit, just there. But the referee, Mr. Atkinson's position, as we see in the next one here, look, perfect view.
Yeah.
And if this isn't a penalty, then I'm biased.
No, definitely a penalty. But I think in the end, probably they deserved it. One or two decisions I think Mark Hughes felt didn't go right for him during the game. So maybe it evens it up, or that is a crucial decision. And really, it's a penalty in every day you see it. Incredible.
Derbyshire was Blackburn's hero in their fourth round tie at Kenworth Road. He could have been their hero so easily today as well, Lee.
Yeah, well, it's just,
and Ian.
It's really just a long ball that forward. It's a good challenge, good flick on. And he's very aware because he knows. I think he sees that there's a chance. He just hooks it over. You know, another 2 yards that might really catch Almunia out. In the end, it's a good hand over. But Derbyshire looked bright, and you know he does well. Nonda. He battled alone up there all his day, but great header, and it gets them half a chance. You know, and really that was all Blackburn could do. But defensively, they were absolutely outstanding. Again, good awareness, good hook over the shoulder.
Almunia doing well to flick that one over. Brad Friedel, of course, had his moments as well today for Blackburn Rovers. He's talking to Dan Walker.
Brad, congratulations. You didn't have much to do for about 83 minutes, but then 3 crucial saves towards the end of that game.
Yeah, I thought the last time we came here we took 6, and we've been speaking about it in training. We wanted to come here and impose ourselves defensively. We weren't the best defensively the other night against Leverkusen, so it was really pleasing to see how the lads defended today.
It was a frustrating afternoon for Arsenal, but I'm sure you and the manager and the rest of the team will look at it as a tactical system which worked today.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't true Blackburn Rovers. We've been far more attacking, but with a few recent performances that we've had to tighten up a bit at the back, and we did that today.
There was one key decision, a refereeing decision. I'm not sure what you saw of it. You perhaps had the best view. It was Stephen Warnock on Ali Adier. What did you make of that one?
Yeah, I think possibly could have been contact there, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, but I think we had a bit of the rub of the green today.
And in terms of both teams, the last thing I suppose you want in a packed schedule at this stage of the season is another game, a replay.
Oh, I think it's great, to be honest with you. I'm not one to complain about games. I think the more games, the better. Keeps you off the training ground.
Brad, some great saves there today. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Brad admitting there was a decent shout for a penalty. He also there kept Blackburn very much in the game, didn't he, in the last few minutes? Some excellent acrobatics from him.
He did. I think, see, we picked Rosicky up here. It's very similar to his run he made against for the Wigan goal. Just plays it inside and keeps his run going. Not really expecting the ball. Ricochets to him. Breaks off the tackle and it's a great save. Left foot. And the keepers are there to save with his feet and his hands. We see he just gets his left foot in place. But Rosicky just makes the run in the box.
Play and follow, you see, good midfield play from Rosicky. I think Mark Hughes has been devastated with that, you know, with the deflection, but he digs it out and Friedel keeps him in the game.
And this is the double save. This is brilliant. Henry eventually gets the ball in the box, but I think Adebayor does well here. Really takes it round the outside, just flicks it back to Henry, and what a save. This is the first one. Left hand, and then big lad gets back up. Doesn't want that goal line to be broken. It's brilliant save.
It's great desire, you know. It's just, you know, great defensive intensity from Blackburn here. You know, McQuainer gets a little bit of a mistake there, but look at people up and about trying to get pressure on the ball. Not the best bit of defending from Samba, but even that, people look at Warnock here, throwing his body, gets a little nick that helps Friedel make a great save. Mark Hughes will be absolutely delighted with that sort of defending intensity. He really will.
This shows what a good save it is, because watch Justin Hoyt's face when he saves the second one. He thinks he's scored here. Henry just flicks it with the outside of his foot. Just there. Good first save. And then he's back on his feet. That's the impressive thing. Justin Hoyt comes in, can't miss, and there he is.
The dying moments of the game. Mark Hughes was going mad, wasn't he, on the touchline there, because the minutes seem to be adding on. Obviously, the replay's the result for Blackburn Rovers.
It's a huge result. Given the players that Blackburn have got out, you know, if you look Reid and Tugai and Savage, and, you know, McCarthy, Pedersen are huge players. It'd be a massively different team if some of them players are back for the replay, and Pedersen and McCarthy are likely to be. So for him, it's a great decision.
Thank you for making that an enjoyable experience. Lee Dixon, Ian Dowie, and whatever happens to you for the rest of the week, Ian, I wish you well.
Thank you.
Maybe see you again some other Saturday lunchtime.
Indeed, hope so.